Alright, so we have Andre Petroski coming off the Ultimate Fighter, and he's facing Micheal Gillmore, who was an alternate on the Ultimate Fighter. So, Petrovsky on the feet, he's very basic, just the naked overhand left. He'll use that, like, overhand left or a straight left to kind of burst into a single leg entry. He'll throw the naked right hook as well, just one at a time, one and done. Right hook, when he throws the right hook, a lot of the time he will burst into like a double leg when he's facing a southpaw. So that's the punches that he uses for the type of takedowns that he's looking for. But yeah, Micheal Gillmore, he has a tendency of backing up because he wants to walk his opponents onto his leg kicks, so he knows where the lead leg's going to be. So if he takes a step back, he knows the opponent's likely going to follow him, and then they're going to step forward onto his leg kick. And I don't think he has a bad leg kicking game. Honestly, I think it's pretty nice. He really sticks to it as a game plan, from what I've seen. But in close, he can get quite reckless. When his opponents do close distance on him, he just kind of swings haymakers with his chin in the air. Swings big right left hooks and stuff like that. For Petroski, he does gas, so when he does gas, he drops his hands, and just he gasses pretty quickly as well, and we'll get into that in a sec. For Petroski though, he's a powerful wrestler. He's got a nice driving double, nice driving single leg, very powerful, explosive wrestler. Single leg on the pipe, he's got a really nice single leg, but predictably changes level for that single leg when he is pressured. Not something Gillmore's probably going to look to do, but when he is pressured, he will kind of instinctively reach for that single leg, and can just see him walking onto a knee once or twice in his career because of that tendency. For Micheal Gillmore, takedown defense didn't seem great. He goes for that like dumb arm-in guillotine to defend the single leg, which is just such a low percentage technique, and it's really something that coaches should really rid their fighters of if they see them even trying it. Alright, so yeah, sorry, got a notification. It's just such an easily defendable technique. Like, if you're going for the double leg, or if you're going for the single leg, you go for the double leg because their hips are, engaged, trying to get that guillotine. You go for the double leg, and then you just sweep the legs to the side, and now you're in side control. And you could probably just fun flu the guy if he hangs onto it. So how these guys win fights, so for Gillmore, leg kicks, his nice leg kicking game, talked about that. And for Petrovsky, he's got solid wrestling. How these guys lose fights. For Gillmore, takedown defense, and for Petrovsky, he'll slow after round 1 in a competitive fight. Past the victory for Gillmore, stay away from the fence, look for feints, he does bite on them, and it does slow his offense a little bit when you do feint him. No kicks, if you throw like body kicks or something, he's going to look to catch it, work a single leg, so don't. Yeah, probably. I know you love your leg kicks, but the inside leg kick is not the move in this fight, unless he's totally gassed in the third round and are very confident you can stuff his takedowns, then you can throw the leg kicks. But mostly just throw hands, high kicks only. But yeah, just try and get him down as well, because there's limited footage of Petrovsky off his back, but it seems like he just hangs on and locks his guard in bottom position. For Andre Petrovsky, pressure him to the fence and take him down with that single leg on the fence. So how I see the fight going, so Gillmore, he likes to back up to let opponents walk onto his shots, but by doing that, he's going to give like Petrovsky a lot of easy takedown entries, especially on the fence. And I feel like Petrovsky should be able to back Gillmore up to the fence and get the single leg pretty easily. Even if he is gassed, he probably should be able to ground Gillmore, just from the takedown defense I saw on tape from Micheal Gillmore. But also just a really poor strength of schedule for Micheal Gillmore. Zero footage from his like last few regional scene fights, like his wins, his 3-win streak. But yeah, it's hard to get a read on how good he is, because a lot of unknowns with this guy, really. Like, I don't really know how he looked in his last 3 fights. I just saw most of the fights that I could find were losses, where he looked pretty bad, but there's a few good parts of his game. He also does seem to usually fight at welterweight, so I'm expecting Petrovsky to have a bit of size on him. And Petrovsky, the line isn't out yet, but I'm guessing Petroski's going to be like minus 400 or minus 500 or some shit like that. I'm like, he probably gets Gillmore down and pounds him out in round 1, but he's not someone I want to pay juice on. He's very limited as a fighter. He's got very basic striking, and he's only got 1 round of gas. So basically, I think he's very limited as a fighter, and I wouldn't ever bet him as a huge favorite. Like, it's basically a fade on Gillmore if you want to pay that price, which I get. You know, Gillmore doesn't look great, but it's just too many unknowns with Micheal Gillmore for me, and I never want to pay like a huge price tag on Petroski. He's just so limited. But yeah, we'll have a look at the lines. If you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. Cheers. So prediction is Petroski we'll go TKO round 1. But yeah, so line is about minus 400 or 500 nearly. So yeah, I just have no desire to play that. If Gillmore got to like $6 or something stupid like that, then maybe I'd play that tiny. But yeah, not really. I don't really have too much interest in this fight. It's very low level, like really. But yeah, Petroski is just he's too flawed for me to bet him as a favorite. This much of a favorite.